Imagine a world without the internet. No Google searches, social media, or online shopping. For many in the developed world, it's an almost unthinkable scenario. Yet, what if it happened? What if tomorrow the internet simply vanished? The consequences would be far-reaching and profound. We'd reach for our phones, expecting instant information and connection, only to be met with silence. Word of mouth, radio broadcasts, and the hurried clatter of telegrams would replace the instant updates we take for granted. Our daily routines, so intertwined with the online world, would be thrown into disarray. Instead, we'd be forced to rediscover older, slower ways of doing things, relying on face-to-face conversations, printed maps, and physical libraries. The challenges would be immense, but so too would the potential for adaptation, innovation, and perhaps even a rediscovery of the things we've lost in our always connected world. The most immediate impact of a global internet outage would be the near-total shutdown of communication systems. Email, instant messaging, and social media platforms would go dark, leaving billions without their primary means of communication. Businesses reliant on online communication tools would find themselves cut off from clients and partners. Phone lines already strained by data traffic would be overwhelmed by the sudden surge in demand. Emergency services reliant on internet-based communication systems would face significant challenges in coordinating responses and disseminating information. The breakdown in communication would breed uncertainty and anxiety as people struggle to connect with loved ones and access reliable information. In the absence of instant communication, we would be forced to rediscover the value of patience and delayed gratification. Letters, postcards, and even telegrams might experience a resurgence, their slower pace forcing us to become more mindful of our words and the time it takes for them to reach their destination. The economic fallout of a global internet outage would be swift and severe. Financial markets, heavily reliant on real-time data and online trading platforms, would plunge into chaos. Global supply chains, intricately linked through sophisticated logistics software, would be thrown into disarray. Businesses, large and small, would face unprecedented challenges in managing operations, processing transactions, and reaching customers. E-commerce, now a cornerstone of the global economy, would cease to exist. Online retailers would find their virtual storefronts shuttered, while consumers would be forced to return to physical stores or go without. The service industry, heavily reliant on online platforms for booking, payments, and customer service, would also face significant disruption. Governments would face immense pressure to stabilize markets, provide financial assistance, and manage the social and economic fallout of a world suddenly thrust offline. The disappearance of the internet would have profound implications for essential services like education, healthcare, and entertainment. Educational institutions, heavily reliant on online resources, learning management systems, and virtual classrooms, would be forced to adapt. Students accustomed to digital learning environments would need to readjust to traditional methods of instruction, while educators would need to find new ways to deliver content and assess student progress. Healthcare systems, increasingly reliant on digital record-keeping, telehealth consultations, and online resources for both patients and practitioners, would face significant challenges. Hospitals and clinics would need to revert to paper-based systems, potentially leading to delays in care and difficulties in accessing patient information. The entertainment industry, heavily reliant on streaming services, online gaming, and social media for content delivery and audience engagement, would experience a seismic shift. The sudden absence of the internet would force us to reassess our relationship with technology and its role in these essential services. Section 5. A world adrift, social impacts and adaptations. Beyond the immediate practical challenges, the disappearance of the internet would have profound social implications. Our social lives, so intertwined with online platforms, would be fundamentally altered. Social media, a primary means of connection and communication for many, would vanish, leaving a void in how we interact, share experiences, and build relationships. The constant stream of information, news, and opinions that shapes our worldview would cease. The echo chambers and filter bubbles that often define our online experiences would dissolve, potentially leading to greater exposure to diverse perspectives. We might find ourselves re-engaging with our physical communities, rediscovering the value of face-to-face interactions, and rebuilding local networks. The absence of the digital public square could lead to a resurgence of public spaces and community gatherings as people seek connection and shared experiences offline. This period of technological disruption would likely be marked by both anxiety and opportunity. Section 6. The return to offline interactions. In the absence of the internet, face-to-face interactions would regain their prominence. We would once again rely on personal conversations, phone calls, and written letters to connect with friends, family, and colleagues. Public spaces would likely see a resurgence in activity. Parks, community centers, and coffee shops could become vital hubs for social interaction, information sharing, and community building. The absence of online distractions might even lead to a renewed appreciation for the natural world and the simple pleasures of offline life. The return to offline interactions would likely foster a greater sense of community and local connection. This shift towards offline interactions could also have positive implications for our mental well-being. Section 7. The resurgence of traditional media. With the internet gone, traditional media outlets would experience a resurgence in relevance. Newspapers, magazines, radio, and television would once again become primary sources of information and entertainment. Libraries, once considered relics of a bygone era, would regain their importance as repositories of knowledge and information. People would flock to libraries to access books, periodicals, and other resources, rediscovering the joy of reading, research, and quiet contemplation. The resurgence of traditional media would likely lead to a greater emphasis on quality journalism, in-depth reporting, and thoughtful analysis. The absence of the internet's dominance could create space for alternative voices and perspectives, enriching the public discourse and fostering a more informed and engaged citizenry. The disappearance of the internet would undoubtedly be disruptive, but it would also present an unprecedented opportunity for reflection and innovation. The sudden absence of this ubiquitous technology would force us to reevaluate its role in our lives, its impact on our society, and its implications for the future. We might question our dependence on technology, the trade-offs we've made in the pursuit of convenience and connectivity, and the values we prioritize in a digitally driven world. This period of reflection could lead to a more mindful and intentional approach to technology, one that prioritizes well-being, sustainability, and human connection. The challenges posed by an offline world would also spur innovation as we seek new solutions to old problems. This period of technological disruption could lead to the development of more resilient and decentralized systems, reducing our reliance on centralized networks and increasing our capacity to adapt to future challenges. The constant distractions of the online world have been widely acknowledged as a detriment to focus and productivity. The disappearance of the internet would remove these distractions, potentially leading to a resurgence in deep work, creativity, and sustained attention. Without the constant pings of notifications, the allure of social media, and the endless stream of online content vying for our attention, we might find ourselves more present in the moment, more engaged in our tasks, and more productive in our endeavors. The absence of digital distractions could unlock new levels of focus, allowing us to delve deeper into our work, explore complex ideas, and achieve greater levels of mastery in our chosen fields. This period of enforced digital detox could also have positive implications for our mental well-being. The return to offline activities could also foster greater creativity and imagination. The absence of the digital world's constant stimulation could create space for new ideas to emerge, allowing our imaginations to flourish and our creativity to blossom. The disappearance of the internet would likely lead to a revitalization of local communities. With online shopping and entertainment no longer readily available, people would once again rely on local businesses, services, and cultural institutions. This shift could breathe new life into local economies, strengthen community bonds, and foster a greater sense of place. Local businesses, no longer competing with online giants, would experience a resurgence in patronage. Main street shops, restaurants, and service providers would become vital hubs of activity, fostering a more vibrant and resilient local economy. The absence of online social networks could also lead to a renewed emphasis on building and nurturing local communities. People might find themselves attending more community events, volunteering their time to local organizations, and engaging in more face-to-face interactions with their neighbors. This renewed focus on local communities could foster a greater sense of belonging, shared purpose, and collective responsibility. The disappearance of the internet, while initially disruptive, would not be the end of the world. In fact, it could mark the beginning of a new chapter in human history, one characterized by a renewed focus on offline interactions, a resurgence of traditional values, and a greater appreciation for the simple things in life. This period of technological disruption would challenge us to adapt, innovate, and rediscover the things that truly matter. It would force us to confront our dependence on technology, reevaluate our priorities, and reconnect with the world around us in meaningful ways. The absence of the internet would not erase the progress we've made as a society. Instead, it would provide an opportunity to build upon that progress, to create a future that is both technologically advanced and human-centered, a future that values connection, community, and well-being above all else. It would be a world that embraces the offline renaissance, rediscovering the beauty, depth, and enduring power of the human experience.